Hello and welcome to the next episode in series. Right now we are working on user authentication and registration. The problem is that I actually don't want a username in our registration form, and most of the applications don't really need a username. Email is perfectly fine. So in my opinion, we can just remove it. The problem is that we are using a dependency for FOSUserBundle, and the problem with using dependencies is that you have to do things the way they are designed, and once you want something custom, it's sometimes not possible to do, or might require a lot of hacking around to get what the results you need. So, for example, uh, our user model is extending from base user model. This is this one, and you can see what we get a lot of variables like username, canonical values, salt, and some other variables which we don't really need for our purposes, but as we are using a dependency, we are kind of locked into using them, and we can check that from database perspective. What we have all those fields with some values. So yeah, we have a lot of fields, and at the moment actually we don't really need much of them. So what can we do to remove a username? Well, it's not as easy like that, and we can't actually remove it. We can just make some hacks to kind of walk around it. So first we can just check the documentation to see maybe there is already a solution for what we want, and as you can see, we have one which deals with overriding forms. Maybe we have one which is for logging by username or email, which doesn't look like what we need, but might provide some thoughts about that. What else? That's about it. It doesn't look like it has one where we could just remove a username. So if you check this one, we can actually make changes to the forms, and it looks like it deals with adding a name to the form. So this is not really what we need, and this one looks like it just an implementation of how to log in using username and or email. So not exactly what we are looking for either. So okay, what we can do is kind of try to, and let's check it. It looks like our username and email has to be unique values. So we can just set username to something like whatever. So we could actually reuse the email and use it as username, so both of those values will be the same and they will be both unique. A bit of an issue of that is that it's actually just you are just duplicating data, but as if we keep on using this bundle, we don't really have a solution for that, so we will have to deal with it. So we can just what we can do is to set a username to the same value as when setting email. So let's go back to our user entity. Let's add let's see if we can just, okay, yeah, public function get email. So we just no, that's not one. We want public function set email. This is not public function set email with an email, and we can call right here with set username to email, and we need to call our parent method, and we can just return a value from it, which returns a current object. So okay, that looks like this should be like this. I think we could actually add a return time right here, and let's try this out. See if we can just add, for example, an email. Okay, we are already having some problems with HTML validation. So for a moment, let's just skip it on this field. What do we have required? Remove the old field. Actually, that should be fine. And we are already using an email, and it still asks us for username. Okay, so we need to remove a username. We can go back to this page to check out how to remove fields, and you can change, if you need, you can make changes to the forms what are used by the bundle. So we would need to let's make the form and remove username from it. So you form registration type. Okay. Now by building it using builder, add remove, and we want to remove user name. We don't need this, and I don't think we need get name because it was removed in version 3 of Symfony, and what we need is to add a parent and block prefix. So public function get parent, return registration form type class, and public function get block prefix, return up user registration. Now we need to make changes to set it up as a service, so it will be used in place of a default form, and this is the configuration changes needed to make it set up as a service, and then to to define which form should be used in FOSUserBundle. So and change the configuration. Now let's check if this actually works, and let's reload. Yes, the username input is actually removed. We need some email to test this out. Let's see, and copy faker. Let's get an email. So let's yes, that is actually fine. And now let's make it fully work, and it looks like we actually created our account. So let's check the database, and yes, we have our user. And let's try to log in with this user, see if it works. Yep, all is actually fine. It looks like we are logged in, and let's see if we okay, and let's try the registration again, but let's try to do it with just an empty email. So let's open that, and of course we are having a problem with HTML validation. It is it remove, oh no, remove required, just let's try. Okay, we have a bit of a problem because it asks us for username if we enter an empty email. To me, it says that to fix this, we should change the validation of the bundle. So if we check available validation for a bundle, let's see resources, config, validation. It has a lot of validations in the group. We don't need group. And let's see, here we have a username constraint, but it shouldn't be a blank on, it should have a length of at least 2 characters. So we would actually need to remove this these constraints on this property. So in this case, let's just go back to to documentation and see. I don't think we will need this one, as our login form works and our username and email is the same, and then it probably, that one would check against both fields, so the query would probably be much slower. And let's see, overriding, yeah, so looks like this one, overriding validation. And well, it doesn't look like it gives a lot of info about any of. It looks like what, unlike with the form, you can't actually just remove constraints you want. So the way I see it, you would need to copy paste this whole file and just remove the constraints you don't really need. So that looks a bit like a lot of hard work, and actually I think we could take an easy way out. So of course, often the easy way out can later bite you in the ass, but just see how it would go, and well, we will fix it later if need arises. So okay, it looks like it outputs an errors, but we have a message for our constraint. So for example, I wonder what would happen if we just set this message to something what is empty. Let's see if it can find us the file where it is. Okay, fine. So let's see, translations and English validators, English. So yeah, we have them for our username. Let's just copy paste this file. Let's see if this works. To app and directory translations, and can we paste? Yeah. So let's paste this one. We don't really need the rest of it. Let's delete this and let's change all of them to just empty strings. And let's see how it goes. Firefox, Mozilla, register, just. Okay, we should have actually worked, so I think it might be what our translations are cached. Let's try to clear the cache. Bin console cache clear. Now let's try refreshing again. Okay, maybe the problem is that we are setting them to blank, so it might fall back to original message. Let's try setting it to something and let's do it without reloading the cache. No, let's reload the cache. For some reason our translations are not being loaded. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think I can see where the problem is. This should be inside resources directory. So let's try again. Reload and let's do the term. Load this one. Yep, now it's finally working. So yeah, it was my mess up. Let's set it back up to something empty. Remove a cache because the translations are most of the time cached and they don't change the values automatically. So one of a few things you need to clear the cache when developing, and to be sure, let's make this again. But yeah, it actually, even this way, it doesn't really look good because the error is being outputted to the page, and even if it's empty, it just looks bad. So in the end, we just simply gonna need to change the validation rules. So as you can see, an easy way out doesn't always work, and it can actually just bite you back in the ass. But if it only takes a little time, and you can just as well try to see what are the results, and if it works, then you might have saved a lot of time. If it doesn't work, you actually just learn something new, because you know this is not going to work when you might get into the same situation in the future. So it looks like we will be adding making custom validations. Okay, let's just go with custom validation. So first, let's get rid of translation changes, as we don't really need it. We are not changing messages to something custom at the moment. So just delete all the translations that is not needed, and we don't need this one, and we should copy the validation and put it in this one. So it would be resources, and yeah, that's about it. Resources, paste, validation XML. Okay, so we don't really need the username, validation, let's get rid of that. We still need email, and we need to change the groups for our validation, so we would use our custom validation and not those which have a username. So let's leave email, password, don't really care about groups, don't really care about Propel, Propel group, don't care about that. Remove this. So okay, we need to change registration to, let's change that to userless registration. And let's change profile to userless profile. Okay, that's about it. So we still need to make changes in configuration. So let's go back to config, this one, and let's put here validation groups, userless registration, and let's also, okay, no, that's fine. Clear the cache just in case. Let's try to refresh the page and see. Okay, something is not right, so let's check. Okay, yeah, it looks like I put again the file in the wrong place. So resources, new directory, config, and let's paste our validation in here. This is one of the files that have to go in config. Let's see. Yeah, but now it's okay. So let's just try with a fresh. Okay, and let's see. Let's try creating a new user. It works, and let's do register again with the same user. And yes, now it's because we don't have a unique validation. What doesn't feel right for me is that actually before that our form was checking if we had the user with the same email before, and gave us an error. So it kind of feels that something is missing from our validation rules, and yeah, we have to find what right now. So let's see. Okay, one approach to that would be to get our translation files. So for validators and simply search for this email already used message. So let's try FOSUser email already used. This is because it goes down the tree, so and each level down is separated by a dot. So for this reason you get FOSUser, you get email, and then you get already used. Let's try to find this. CouchDB, don't care about CouchDB. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So okay, it looks like our unique rules are inside a different file. So actually, and it's on email canonical field. So actually, just copy paste this, add it to our validation. Class constraint. Is that right? Yeah, class constraint. It's on the property, so that would be a bit. Okay, let's see. Option email canonical. User less registration. User less profile. You have email, and that looks about right. So let's try refreshing it. Cannot be put on properties or getters. Okay, so this constraint should be actually not on our property. That's perfectly fine. Let's put it here. Refresh again, and yeah, now we are getting back our error. So it looks like we are already done with this task, and yeah, like you seen, you really have to think about adding dependencies to your project, because even if you can start much faster with just like a line of view, as soon as you want to make any changes, do something custom, it often becomes very hard and can really slow you down. So you really need to decide on what is more important for your project, and if the things that allowed you to go fast in the beginning isn't making it harder for you later in the project life cycle. Okay, what things that are left are just pushing those changes, committing them, and that's about it. So we have a few files what changed. Let's go over the changes to see if anything if everything is all right. So we set our registration form, that looks good. We set our service for the form, that looks good also, and we just set an email. So when we set an email, the username is also set, as we need to have a unique value for username. What else? So this is our registration form, and it just removes username, and we have our validation file, which just validate is a copy paste of the bundle validation So we just remove username constraints. That all looks good, and now let's commit it all. Just let's think of a good message for it. Okay, yes, I think simple. Removed user name from registration form. Yeah, that should actually be good, and I think if we try to push it, it will fail us. The history is a bit different from the last time. Yeah, it rejects our push because the history changed, so we have some commits what are out of sync. So we can't normally push it. It's not a fast forward push, so actually just force the push to the repository. Come on, give me git push force. This will do a forced push, and that's about it. So like the video if you found it useful, and subscribe to the channel if you want to get more of those videos, and we will do something else on the next episode.